weekdays on global televisions from 6:30 p.m. for a reverting journey into the heart of politics, where we dissect issues shaping our society.
And now, many prominent Nigerians have since joined the call for a transition to the parliamentary system of government. The talks of parliamentary democracy are resurrected in Nigeria when a group of 60 lawmakers in the House of Representatives sought amendment to the 1999 Constitution for transition from the current presidential system to the parliamentary system of government. The lawmakers said that the transition has become necessary to reduce the cost of government in the face of the dwindling revenue. Title, the bill proposing constitutional alteration for a transition to parliamentary system of government. The bill is sponsored by the House Minority Leader Kingsley Chinda and 59 others. The bill was read on the floor of the House at the plenary, but has not progressed since the first reading. Well, it looks that after some months, there have been a lot of interaction. Some Nigerians says lack of electoral accountability, the deepening poverty, and the mind-boggling corruptions, and some of the challenges of the presidential system are the reason for this move. Tonight, I'm being joined by a policy analyst, Pascal Aka, for joining us on the program to discuss all of these issues and see what works for Nigeria. Thanks so much for joining us on the program. Good evening and welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Good
evening, everybody.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot of concern about what works for us, because that those that feels, all of the issues we are facing with the presidential system of government, after democracy is not ought to be, they are now clamoring for issues of parliamentary system of government. Give us an idea of all of these issues.
Okay, I landed on Monday. So many Nigerians, well-meaning Nigerians, we are clamoring for a change. They want us to go back to the parliamentary system, and it looks like a beautiful picture, and as if it is going to work and favor us the best. But I feel, from my own personal perspective, that the problem is not about the system in operation. I think the problem has to do with the people who are operating a particular system. You understand, we have practiced this parliamentary system before, and we discovered that it wasn't working for us. That made us to change and then go for the presidential system. The presidential system is not a very bad system. And in my own opinion too, I don't think it wouldn't work in Nigeria. Even though people may have their own opinions and views, but in my own perspective, I don't think it wouldn't work. America is making use of this same kind of system, and it is working for them. Why is it not working for us? I think that is the place where we should focus our attention more on. Why is this system not working for us, whereas it is working for other nations and other countries? And that brings us to the people that are piloting the affairs. So I think we have to really...
Because even if we have to go to parliamentary, still Nigerians that will still be the drivers of the system of this government.
And then we will now want to come back again to presidential system. You will see us continue to
back
and forth. And at the end, we will not achieve anything. I think we just need to find out why this one is not working. What are we going to do to make this one work? And then we start implementing those things that will help us to make it.
You've just hit the nail, because issues of what should work, what is failing, what systems, what institutions are not doing well. Because when you look at the problem, that those that are quick to blame politicians, that they are the ones destroying our institutions, they will tell you a judiciary today is no more the last hope of the common man, because it's not really functioning. Some persons will argue, and the judiciary will also tell you that don't allow the few hacks to make it look as if the institution is entirely not working. You go to the legislative, that those that were to make laws checks the excesses of the executive. But it whole looks that they are, would I say, sleeping on their responsibilities. How do we begin to engage all of these systems?
I feel if we say sleeping on their responsibilities, we may not be very wrong, actually, because if you talk to the judiciary will say it is the executive. The executive will say it is the office of the function of the legislatures. That's how everybody will be laying blames. No one has been able to come out to take responsibility of the fact that their own side is failing. We wouldn't say also that the judicial system has failed entirely, but we see patches of loopholes everywhere in the judicial system, and it does seem that they are not doing so well in their own responsibilities. And if you check well, you will discover that it is the executive that is making it so much impossible for them to be so effective. So in a situation whereby the judiciary is effective, you will see that presidential system will be so favorable for everybody. I think too, and I so much believe, that our politics and our system is not people-oriented. It is mostly based on personal interests and gain. If we start to focus our leadership on people, what are we going to do to favor these people the best? What are we going to do to favor Nigerians the best and to help everyone grow? You will see that the system will work very well. But we have not started looking at those things. We are still checking what is going to favor me, what is going to favor my family, what is going to favor my people. But we are not looking at the broader picture, which is Nigeria, which is in a very big situation at the moment. Believe me, if we change to parliamentary system, tomorrow we will all clamor for presidential system.
I mean, it looks so funny because when you look at the fact that when you look at patriotism, because there are also the picture of it. In order for this system to work, be it the presidential or the parliamentary, it takes patriotic Nigerians to key in behind this. But how would you examine the minds of Nigerians? Some, you've seen the issue of increasing migration out of the country. People's not really looking at the systems again. They're not trusting on the process again, and they are losing faith.
Yeah, a lot of people have believed that Nigeria is a failed country, is a failed state. And when you look at the picture, the way things are going, you will tend to believe in that too. But the actual situation is that it has not failed. You understand? It's just that we are so quick to condemn any movement. Now, the way it is and the increase in migration outside the country, any young Nigerian who looks at the back, where we have come from, and then where we are going to with so fast a speed, would not want to stay in Nigeria. The person will definitely say, okay, this system we are complaining about is failing us. Let me go to another country where it seems to be working out very well.
It was people that helped work
and it is
the
people
system.
that built the system. If all of us run away, who will build Nigeria? People have to stay back, challenge the system, help the system work, devote themselves in making sure that the system works. So if all of us should run away, there will be no Nigeria.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but we really have to call the leaders to look at what is going on and then be able to go back and tell themselves the truth. We're not faring well with Nigerians. We're not helping Nigerians. We're just being almost too selfish. Let us go back to the drawing board, look at what will help the broad majority of Nigerians, the different regions, and then hit and move forward. That's the only way to help. If they don't, I fear that in a few years' time, the population of Nigeria will drop.
We do not want to get to that level, but let's pay attention to the subnational, because when you look at getting Nigeria to work, it takes all hands to be on deck. We've seen Supreme Court giving financial autonomy to local government to see how they can begin to, enhance development at their respective local government. What is the position of the state in all of this? Because there are those that are having a concern that the problem we are having today is the inability of the state to function, the inability of the state to also drive development, productions, and all of those concerns. Because the major issues it seems we are having is economic issue. When you look at culturally, when you look at patriotism, it might not really be an issue. And every Nigerian believe we are not. Many Nigerians believe we are in Nigeria. We are one Nigeria. So there have been that issue of commonness gradually, taking place in the country. But economic issues, it has been confronting this nation. When you look at the resources, it looks that it's not well shared. There are factors, there are corruption issues, and all of those. That those are having, should the state, not really fastly get to engage as well.
Yeah, the state has not fared well. The states in Nigeria, I would say that the states in Nigeria are the ones that are making Nigerians to suffer the more. I think one of the most beautiful things this government has done is the autonomy given to local governments to function. But the begging question remains, will they function? If we still remain so selfish as Nigerians, and we don't still focus at what will help the vast majority of Nigerians, even if we decide to give autonomy to individual families, money will be sent to the leaders of such families, they will embezzle it. Now, the states will have to also help the local governments, because if the states are not driving development and the local governments want to drive developments, and the state is affecting the local governments from driving, they're hindering the local governments from driving development, nothing will grow. Nothing will grow. I think we really have to come back as Nigerians. We really have to start to think as individual persons in Nigeria to make Nigeria a better country. Whether in the local government level, in the state level, in the federal level, we really need to start thinking as Nigerians to make Nigeria better. I think that's the way that to just go and everything will go normal and well. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pascal Akai, public analyst. Thanks so much for sharing your thoughts on the program and giving all this insight. All of this is for the betterment of Nigerians, and when Nigeria works, it works for everyone. It's major concern. Thanks so much for being part of the program tonight. Hello, everyone. It looks basically that we must continue to always engage the systems, and as well the government of the day. Effort of government is in a bid to addressing issues of poverty, issues of corruptions and accountability, and the leagues of other pressing issues in our country. And that those that are still having a concern that for all of these things to work, it takes commitment of everyone. And still a clarion call that we should put Nigeria first. My name is Edikat Michael, and that's the size of tonight's Big Talk. See you again tomorrow for another interesting conversation on the program. Bye-bye for now.
For an insightful idea that takes the center stage and the conversation that gets beyond the headlines, to explore the lasting impact of political decisions, Big Talk got you covered. From policy debates to geopolitical insights, from thought-provoking discussions to actionable insight.
What is the real responsibility of government?
Big Talk delves deep into the heart of the matter. Join us weekdays on global televisions from 6:30 p.m. for a reverting journey into the heart of politics, where we dissect issues shaping our society. For an insightful idea that takes the center stage and the conversation that gets beyond the headlines, to explore the lasting impact of political decisions, Big Talk got you covered. From policy debates to geopolitical insights, from thought-provoking discussions to actionable insight.
What is the real responsibility of government?
Big Talk delves deep into the heart of the matter. Join us weekdays on global televisions from 6:30 p.m. for a reverting journey into the heart of politics, where we dissect issues shaping our society.